Well, we had a bit of excitement last Sunday. But there was a very heavy, well, high wind. It was very hot, over 40 degrees centigrade. And this tree that's been here 32 years ago we moved in, and this tree was here and it was not young. I don't know how old it is, and I've pruned it and pruned it and pruned it over the years. They just kept coming back. But you can see by the shape of the trunk that it's had an interesting history. This thing had bent over and then grew straight, and then bent over and grew straight. But there's quite a bit of it. And it just completely snapped off now. Obviously inside of here it was not terribly healthy. Interestingly, this tree, our kids grew up with it, and my daughters in particular, very disappointed, very upset. They used to climb around in this all the time and get the mulberries. But it appears that there is already something going to keep going. Interestingly, this is my roll-off roof observatory, and I have a reasonable sized telescope inside of it, and this thing came down. There was branches over it. I couldn't get to the door because the tree was right back here. Yeah, this just rolls. This. Oh, I've got a clamp on it to stop it moving forward. But yeah, this roof just rolls off and out onto this frame, and then I've got cliff. I've got a sky. But this is last night. My wife and I came out. I just got a reasonable set of secateurs, big secateurs, and we just started attacking it. And here's the consequence of last night's effort. And we had the only loss we've really had is this. It landed on this, but as you can see, I pruned this tree a long time ago. I don't know, 8 years ago, something like that, and it came across. I dropped it and I bent that arm there. Well, now it's bent up here, and it's also bent this diagonal support. So all I did was get some angle iron, made up some plates, and made up a splint for it. And I'm thinking that maybe what I'll end up doing is just making a longer version of that, and maybe replace this. But in the meantime, we have to do something about this. Well, we got a quote yesterday from a tree removal place. I can hear my wife talking with the neighbours. Yeah, tree removal place, and they wanted $1,800 to remove this. And they said we should be able to do this on our insurance, but our insurance has said we can't. And so $1,800 and 4 blokes for 4 hours. Well, given that we got this much done in under an hour last night with a pair of secateurs, and I've got a little electric chainsaw Makita that is undersized for the job. For that, I won't be able to do that, but I can get hold of a chainsaw for that. But for a lot of this stuff up in the head, I can get rid of that, and we'll do some shredding. So, yeah, there's the roll-off for the observatory. So, this is our task for today and more. but I can't bring myself to spend $1,800 to get someone to come and do this. And I'll see, I've got a mulcher, that little Ryobi mulcher up here. And I've used that to get rid of a lot of mulberry tree in the past. So we'll see what it takes. But I'm going to sharpen the blade on my little electric chainsaw and see how much of this I can get rid of with that. Chainsaw, that's my hand by comparison, so it's actually not very big. But I'll sharpen this blade, and yeah, there's the tree outside there. So we've got a lot of light coming in here that we didn't used to have. I might have to put an awning out here to keep this. And my daughter lives in the room next door. Sleeps in the room next door. So I'll sharpen this and see where we go. Well, for the doubters, like my dad, he would look at this and say that it's complete rubbish, which it kind of is. It's surprising what you can get away with. So, get on to this one. Now, admittedly it's only mulberry tree, but it's still not too bad for so we're making fairly fast work of this. Let's see, let's get over here. End of day one's efforts. Did a few goes, but we've put a fair bit through the mulcher, and that's all the mulch we get. It does really cut down the volume. All of this is too big to go into mulcher, well, most of it. And I did actually cut off the last bit of the stump, and I chopped down a fair chunk of this self-seeded weed that was in the backyard. I had a go at getting through there, and it's almost through, but I can't quite break through. But I need to still, haven't touched that. But there's a fair bit less mess than there was. So we have to work our way through that pile, and whatever's left is too big for this sort of stuff. I'll have to obviously do a tip run for that sort of stuff, because there's no way we can get rid of that. But stuff like this you can put into a green waste bin. So if we just go through and chop out of that all the stuff we can mulch. Pieces like this one. So this is our pile of stuff to shred for tomorrow. Anyway, I'm feeling a bit worn out, so that'll do for the moment.